Hello, friends, welcome to our series India After Independence. Other early political developments and Congress. Social base of Congress extended from metropolitan areas to rural one, and it acted as one of the major instruments of political stability. It is also said that after independence, it transformed itself from a social movement to a political institution. To provide further organizational cohesion, Patel made a provision that no person who is a member of any other party with a constitution can be its member thought. It was earlier allowed, as in case of Congress Socialist and Communist Party. As a result, Socialists left the party terming it as a bourgeois move and base of Congress didn't remain as broad as it was earlier. Nehru, however, made several attempts to bring them back and even Congress retained its left of the center approach. Still, Congress largely remained democratic in view of the party members was reflected in meetings of AICC, All Indian Congress Committee. Nehru felt that he wouldn't be able to do justice to two roles at one time and hence resigned from Congress presidentship, and J.B. Kripalani was appointed president instead. Kripalani demanded that decisions of government should be discussed with party organization as well. However, Nehru and Patel deemed it unrealistic and improper as executive works are the principle of confidentiality in a parliamentary democracy and is responsible to legislature alone. Kripalani resigned on these issues, and this issue again arose when Purushottam Das Tandon became party president, with whom Nehru had signed differences over his conservative attitude. Kripalani and others also left the party around the same time. In a tussle between Tandon and Nehru, Tandon had to resign, and Nehru once again president of party, contrary to his own decisions to not to do so. During times of Nehru Party, cadre was never mobilized to implement the vision of Nehru, and as a result, party members lost touch from the ground. Departure of socialists like Jayaprakash Narayan weakened the radical forces with the party, and they didn't show any willingness to side Congress despite some repeated appeals from Nehru. And finally, the two moved ways apart. Nehru in turn tried to ingrain socialism in the party structure itself by pursuing policy of land reforms, plant developments, cooperative farming, etc. However, even assertions of socialism couldn't stall the decline of party, and party was marred by power hunger, factionalism, nepotism, and so on. First sign of it appeared in the loss of party in three Lok Sabha by-elections in 1963. As a result, Nehru made a last-ditch efforts to strengthen party internally with the help of K. Kamaraj, Chief Minister of Madras. They came up with what is known as Kamaraj Plan in August 1963 to infuse a new life into the party and restore the balance between party and the government. The plan stressed that leading congressmen who are in good positions in government like cabinet ministers, chief ministers, etc. should voluntarily resign and should instead focus on strengthening organizational aspects of party. Nehru was made authority to decide whose resignation to accept and thus also to have an authority to cleanse the party at the top. Response of congressmen was immense and all cabinet ministers and all chief ministers offered their resignation, and out of which resignations of 6 cabinet ministers was Babu Jagjeevan Ram, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Morarji Desai, S.K. Patel, etc. and 6 chief ministers. However, their decisions came very late as Nehru was alive at that time, and all the congressmen who were relieved were not given any significant duty to bolster party, except Kamaraj, who was made party president. They sulked or made intrigues against political rivals in the state. Congressmen continued to be obsessed with administrative power and patronage, and overall moral of party remained law.